Welcome back to First Take. To the NFL we go. According to Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, Jacksonville Jaguars two-way star Travis Hunter is doing, quote, exceptionally well in recovering from the knee injury he sustained as a rookie. And while Hunter will be limited throughout the spring during OTAs, the Jags do expect the last year's number 2 overall pick to be back fully healthy by training camp. And when he is, Hunter is expected to become a full-time cornerback. Last season, we know that the Jags played Hunter nearly double the amount of snaps on offense than he did on defense. However, Hunter's season was limited to just 7 games as he had to undergo season-ending knee surgery on November 11th. All right, Kevin Clark, where do you lie on this? Mike Tannenbaum here as well. This guy is so talented. We were all hoping he was going to be the Shohei Ohtani of the NFL, but now it appears that the Jags are trying to go all in on defense with him. Is that the right move?
It's 100% the right move. I don't care about, and nor does any Jaguars fan care about, Travis Hunter being the Ohtani of the NFL. No, let's work on him being an all-pro, and he's going to be an all-pro at cornerback, not wide receiver. So he played about 65 snaps a game last year. 44 of those on offense, the rest on defense. I would flip that. Have a major in defense, minor in wide receiver. I just think that there's still a role for him in certain packages. But it's just supply and demand. It's a lot easier to find an elite wide receiver than it is an elite cornerback. And I think that there's been arguments, you can scheme a cornerback out, you can go away from, you can't take a wide receiver out of the game. No. If you have an elite cornerback, and by the way, Monteric Buster Brown on the other side for the Jaguars is a really good cornerback. If you've got Travis Hunter playing a good cornerback position, that changes the entire complexion of your defense. On offense last year, there was such a proof of concept with Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence in year one. The last half of the season, Trevor Lawrence was throwing that deep ball as well as anybody in football. He was using his legs. He took a step. They are fine on the offensive side of the ball. Offensive play caller, head coach, everything is good there. Work on the defense. You lost Devin Lloyd. You have some identity issues. Travis Hunter is that identity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Courtney, I get there for similar reasons and for different reasons. First of all, I agree. Monteric Brown was a good re-signing. They got Jordan Lewis. Travis Hunter has elite footwork, man-to-man ability, change of direction. And the way teams play 11 personnel, 3 wide receiver, even as a nickel, he would be a starter playing over 85% of the snaps. But there's another real fundamental reason here, which is Travis Hunter is a great player, world-class athlete. If there was a question about him coming out, ironically, it was his durability and his size. He's not big by NFL standards to be a receiver, and unfortunately he got hurt. So the trade is what it is. It's a sunk cost. What can we do to maximize his ability? Let's play him at corner and work him in, as Kevin said, for certain packages. I think he could be a good receiver. I don't know if he'll ever be a top elite receiver because his size deficiency could hurt him. So I think this is smart by Jacksonville. And Jacoby Myers has come along well to complement Brian Thomas. If those guys play together for a full season, they could be really good at both receiver and corner, assuming that Travis Hunter stays healthy.
So during that Heisman Trophy year he had at Colorado, 96 catches, 1,258 yards, 15 touchdowns. The catches and the touchdowns led FBS receivers. We're not going to see that much, if at all. It might be on gadget plays here and there, a little bit on offense, but he's going to be focusing on defense. Mike, you said that the trade, you kind of categorized it as a sunk cost at this point. They traded up. They don't have a pick in 2026 in the first round that went to Cleveland to go get Travis Hunter. In retrospect, was that the right move? Or, I mean, the way you're categorizing it makes me seem like there's a little bit of regret here from doing that. Is that accurate?
Well, candidly right now, the only grade we could give it is a grade of incomplete. But if you look at one of the best-run organizations in all of sports, it's the Rams. And what did Sean McVay do? He walked into Mr. Kroenke's office and said, hey, we gave all this guaranteed money to Jared Goff, and little over 13 months later, he's like, I got a better idea. Let's trade that, and let's go get Matt Stafford. They won a Super Bowl. I think that's what good organizations do. They realize what they have, and if they have to pivot, they pivot. And to me, Travis Hunter could be a really good corner in the NFL. Arguably, you would say they probably traded up too much to get just a corner. And maybe over the course of 5 years, again, a rookie deal is 4 years plus a club option. Travis Hunter is not going to go anywhere. Maybe you sprinkle in receiving responsibilities a little this year, more in the third year, and so on and so forth. So if I was the GM, you eat it, you own it, and then you say, what's best for us? Make Travis Hunter a corner.
I'm with you, Mike. Obviously, James Gladstone, the GM, comes from the Los Angeles tree. They understand aggression. He said it after the pick that he's uniquely equipped to be able to take these aggressive moves because he was with the Rams. But I also agree that they gave up too much. And I think if they knew they were going to be as good as they were in year one, they would want a first-round pick this year to build on that. Because of how good Trevor Lawrence was, all the moves they made, they lost Devin Lloyd, as I mentioned earlier. But there's a proof of concept here. I would have loved to have a first-round pick to play with this year.
Yeah, 22 interceptions last year as a team for the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was right behind where the Chicago Bears were with 23.
Here with our resident general manager, Mike Tannenbaum. Here's how it's going to work. Mike T, you're going to give us 3 qualities that you think make up a big-time blue-chip player, and then tell us the prospect that you think fits all 3 and checks all 3 boxes. What are your 3 qualities?
All right, Peter, here we go. Number 1, mental and physical toughness. The best players who have sustainability, they are physically and mentally tough. The 17-game season, there are going to be ups and downs, especially in the bigger markets. There's going to be a lot of scrutiny on them. It's the ones that can persevere are the ones that do the best. Number 2, coachability. Oftentimes we talk about the tape sets the floor and the character sets the ceiling. What we're talking about there are players that want to get better, don't have all the answers, love the process, come in when there are days off. People that come in the offseason in Cleveland, hint, hint, those people are coachable. And then thirdly, love of football. Love of football. It's a grind. Anybody that's been around pro football, you guys all know it is a grind. And it's the ones that love the process, want to be around the game, watch extra tape, do extra things in the weight room. Those are the guys over time have much longer and sustainable careers.
3 qualities. Mike Tannenbaum, who is your one big-time player in this year's draft?
Jeremiah Love. And a lot of the reasons why, guys, is what he does once he has the ball, he doesn't fumble. He has 1 fumble and about 500 touches. But the other thing he does is he's a great pass protector, which is critically important. And then you could flex him out, had 63 receptions. So to me, to do all those things in a program like Notre Dame, you have to be coachable, you have to be tough, and you have to love the process. So to me, the way he plays the game with the ball and without the ball, he really embodies those qualities.
Let's bring in Ben and Kevin. Kevin Clark, we come to you. What do you think of Jeremiah Love as the big-time player in this year's draft?
This draft is so fascinating because I don't think anybody thinks the best player is going number 1 overall. Fernando Mendoza is an awesome quarterback, but that's just the way the league views the position. You get to go number 1, Fernando Mendoza. So there's guys. I made the argument for Sonny Styles earlier. Jeremiah Love. There are guys who are going to come off the board later who will be the best player in this draft. Jeremiah Love is phenomenal. He is a phenomenal interview. He's a character guy. He's a leader. He's a runner. He's got tons of juice. He can catch the ball. I just think he's going to have an awesome career. Again, I made the point earlier, if he falls, that could be the best thing to ever happen to him. Go to a team like the Rams, one of those trade-up candidates that Mike Tannenbaum talked about earlier. I think there's Ashton Genty is the cautionary tale here, a great running back who goes to a less than great situation. I think Jeremiah Love, like a Jahmyr Gibbs type a couple years ago, goes to an awesome situation, has immediate impact.
Ben Solak, I thought you made a really good point in the first hour. As much as we can, do flips over Jeremiah Love, taking a running back 4th or 3rd or 5th overall is hazardous salary cap-wise. Explain.
Yeah, and we're talking about teams like the Cardinals, the Titans, and the Giants who aren't necessarily there from an offensive line perspective to get the value out of Jeremiah Love. Yet he'll still be the 7th highest paid running back in football if he's selected with one of those 3 picks. It's because of how the rookie wage scale works. Independent of what position you play, you get the contract that the 4th overall pick gets. So we like to get surplus value is what we call it. We like to get value on the dollar when we draft players in the NFL draft, especially top 5, top 10. We go for premium positions, like Kevin said. Fernando Mendoza goes 1 overall because, hey, quarterbacks are really expensive. You go get yourself a cheap one. So Love, I love the player. I'm enamored with Jeremiah Love. I do not want to be taking him in the top 5.
Yeah, there is a real argument to be made about team building and second contracts. And if Kenneth Walker just won the MVP of the Super Bowl and made $14 million, and Alec Pierce made twice as much as him at wide receiver, it talks about the value of the position. Let's go to a position that is highly valued in the league, and that is edge rusher. Let's play a game of who has the edge when it comes to top prospects. David Bailey Arvell Reese, and Ruben Bain. Those are the three names we're hearing. Let's start with Kevin Clark. Who do you think has the edge when it comes to the best edge rusher in this draft?
Gee, Mike Tannenbaum, what would you call a guy who held your big-time player to 33 yards on the ground? Because that's what Ruben Bain did in the Notre Dame-Miami game in August. He is a phenomenon. I don't care about the short arms. I saw a stat that blew me away. If you just took Ruben Bain's pressures in the playoffs and you put that over a full season, he'd still be a top 20 rusher in the ACC. Okay? He is an unbelievable force. I love him. I would take him anywhere in this draft. Well, day one guy.
Mike T, who do you got? Edge rushers in this year's draft. Who's got the biggest upside, the whole thing, the total package?
Yeah, Peter, first of all, I don't know if that's breaking news that Kevin Clark would actually go with a hurricane, but let's suspend our imagination. I'm going to go with Arvell Reese. I love all three players, so anytime we have these debates, you don't want to denigrate the other guys because, Bain and Bailey are going to be great. Arvell Reese, though, versatility. I've worked with Bill Belichick, Rex Ryan, Eric Mangini, extremely creative defensive play callers. They love versatility. And of these three players, Arvell Reese is the most versatile. And to me, that's the tiebreaker I'm going to use.
Okay, Ben, if you have the number 2 overall pick, or you have the number 3 overall pick, and you've got all three of these guys on the board, who makes the most immediate impact in year one?
It's Ruben Bain, and we're talking a lot from scouting perspectives, arm length and how they use versatility. The thing about Bain is he doesn't leave the field, right? This guy played 90% of the snaps for the Miami Hurricanes. We had 87 total pressures this season, the most of any rusher since 2017 in college football. This is because he's present. He can play the runs. You get to play him on 1st and 10. You get to play him on 3rd and 1, and then he makes impactful plays against the pass. And so Bain is a 3-down player. Some teams view him as an edge on the outside against the run and kick him inside the defensive tackle on the pass rush downs. So there's still versatility there as well. He's going to splash for whatever team drafts him in the first round.
I find it fascinating. We're doing all this, and we've gotten Reese and Bain talk. Meanwhile, I believe David Bailey is the guy because of the production that he did last year. He had all the sacks, and also, oh, by the way, he's the most polished pass rusher out of all these guys. That's what I'm saying as Kevin Clark is losing his mind at that comment. Here's how I stack it in the draft. I've got the Jets taking Bailey at 2, the Cardinals taking Reese, and then I've got the Saints sitting at 8. Kevin Clark, your response?
Watch Ruben Bain bend. It looks completely unnatural. It looks like the craziest thing I've ever seen, just his ability to do anything. You want to watch game film, Ben, you just said it. Just watch the film of what happened when Miami's coaches told Ruben Bain to come out of a game. He was not happy about it.
Would you, if you're the Jets, take Ruben Bain at 2nd overall? You're doing these flips for Bain. I understand he's a Miami guy and he's an excellent
I'd rather on my team, I'd rather have Bain than Bailey.
What do you say,
Without
man?
a doubt.
So with the Jets specifically, I will say that you saw Aaron Glenn invest in Aiden Hutchinson there with that 2nd overall pick with the Lions. Hutch was a speedy outside rusher, great explosiveness, maybe not the best run defender you ever seen. That's David Bailey to a T. And so there's a way to play this particular player that Aaron Glenn understands how to maximize that guy. So for the Jets, I do think that David Bailey makes a lot of sense.
Mike Tannenbaum, you know the Jets well. You also know these pass rushers well. What do you think of David Bailey, 2nd overall with that prize pick?
I like David Bailey. He actually reminds me a little bit of John Abraham in terms of his quick twitch.
That's a good callback.
But I just want to end with some support for Ruben Bain and what Kevin was saying, which is Bill Polian, a Hall of Fame GM, once took Dwight Freeney, a very much of an undersized pass rusher that was somewhat controversial at 10, went on to have a great career. And Ruben Bain reminds me a little bit of Dwight Freeney from being a little bit undersized, but plays with great get-off and great leverage. So I can see Bailey, as Ben said, because of Aaron Glenn, but I see some John Abraham in him. But Ruben Bain, to me, is going to be a great player despite very short arms for a pass rusher.
Big-time player. Mike T, big-time player.
I just would say, Freeney, though, that's a great comparison. He was amazing at Syracuse. He didn't go 2nd overall.
Mm-hmm.
He had a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Jets fans,